Welcome to Present Poetry, a podcast where we sit back, relax, and enjoy some poets of the past and present. I'm your host, Erin Crittenden, and before we get started on this week's episode, I want to remind you that all of the material used in this podcast is either public domain or used with permission from the author or the author's estate. It's a fun time for all ages, so sit back, relax, and get ready to hear this week's featured poet. This week's featured poet is Devika Mathur. Devika Mathur resides in India and is a published poet, content writer, and editor. Her works have been published or are upcoming in Madras Courier, Modern Literature, 2 Drops of Ink, Dying Dahlia Review, Pif Magazine, Spillwords, Duane's Poetree, Piker Press, Mojave Heart Review, Whisper and the Roar, amongst others. She also has work that has been included in the US-based Indie Blu publications, The Kali Project, and As the World Burns. She also writes on her blog, which will be linked in the show notes, and has recently published her surreal poetry book, Crimson Skins, which is available worldwide through Amazon. We are reading a few of her works that she submitted through our portal at presentpoetry.com. This poem is called Another Misery. Bones crackle not for the first time. The sound and sleep do not hesitate to bloom into another being. The noises vaporize into a thin sheet of vermilion snake. The lotus blooms into a sleek layer of moth upon the flamingo tongue, where the sunset sinks and opens into a tub of hot water. This is me. This arms, tongue, skin, forehead, neck, all that floats and stands alone in solidarity within myself. The rages fumes, the sleep diffuses into a stubborn knot, the pattern exists palpably. The body shrinks again and again into a being created by time and space. The body shrieks and produces roars, bifurcating into shreds of a lost song. This poem is called Life Cycle. Abruptly it falls over me, the new moon and its shadow, deciphering the way into my molar life, quiet and a pause. Life is a television, I see entertainment about. Self, mimic and teeth, eyes and mind. Abruptly things detach their being. I am one, and suddenly I become two. The process of multiplication terrifies me. The process of enunciation of my limbs and mouth. I eat cardamom seeds when bored. I put too many in my curry. They taste like Dal Lake, and I simmer myself into it. Origami papers blooming into lotus. Abruptly my teeth bite my tongue, saying all nonsensical prayers. But I say it, indeed. I say it louder, even if I am a single droplet of water. This poem is called Being Nature. Through the thin textures, blue-lipped winters, as I say your name, a holocaust of warm textures, this is a time to celebrate, a morbid bleeding wall, to rotate the existence of butterfly. But rather I create portraits of you, merging onto my lips. Mother, I imagine a concoction of duality, with persistence of time and memory. I feel parted within my own body, a lacuna eating my ribs and morphed skin. I am the quiet, dead star, wanting to be kissed and forgotten within the hidden shades of name. I am almost like nature. This poem is called Sensory Screams. Does this make sense? This prolonged sense of longing. You, the dreamer, a knot of seismic star, sinking and floating. You play with time, as if catches you as you catch the sun. You, the slippery snake. The coils of magenta sky spread across my thighs. How cute my poem looks here. The sound of letters, the jarring image of disgust, the jarring touch of gadgets, a wobbly effect of the screen. It trembles and regenerates, a siren to the oblivion. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Present Poetry Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, feel free to like us, leave a review, or share us on social media. If you are a poet or you know someone who is, we would love to hear from you. You can reach out to us or submit your work through our website, which is www.present-poetry.com. Again, that is www.present-poetry.com. We can't wait to hear from you.